What's up guys, ChasingLamely here with episode 5 of Tipping the Hatters. Today we're going to be doing a double header because I said I'd come back for the FC United game, but really helpfully the first round of the FA Cup falls just afterwards, and I feel like we should do that too. We're going to go through the games you've missed, we're going to go through some transfer news, and we're going to come back after the intro, so I'll see you guys in a sec. And we're back, and once again many thanks to Peter for the intro footage. You can see the link to the documentary in the description below. It's been a bit of a roller coaster since we last met. We last met in the York game, as you remember, in episode 4. We had an interesting time, and James Graham picked up an injury, which was not a great time for us at all. And it's been all go since then. Lots of goals. First of all, we had a 5-0 loss straight after that to Telford. I honestly can't tell you what happened. It was much the same team that played York. They'd been rested properly. I don't know how this happened. Wish I did. We lost Ronaldo Pearson to injury, which was a bit of a disappointment too. But yeah, it was one of those games that was so bad that the players refunded the travel costs of the fans, which tells you a little bit. Moving quickly on, we played the FA Cup second qualifying round. It's our first foray into the FA Cup this season. 3-0 win. Michael Brown is a new signing. I picked him up because he was available and apparently rated better than anything we had, despite being about 40. Yeah, picked him up, made his debut, and he got sent off. We still won 3-0, which is comforting, but yeah, got himself sent off. We're going to have a little talk about Michael Brown because he's had an adventure. Well, he's had an adventure with us, we'll put it that way. But Luke Burgess got on to get a score sheet for the first time. He started playing really well, so I extended his loan. Reece Turner got back on the score sheet for the first time since his injury, and Simon Tubic got himself a goal, which is always nice to see. We then went back to the league, another 3-0 win against North Ferriby. Warburton with a penalty. James Graham and Frankie Masonda goals from defence. We like goals from the defence. That's always a positive. Third qualifier around the FA Cup, a 6-1 win away at St Albans. And St Albans, for those who don't know, they're approximately as good as us in the Conference South. You know, they're one place below us, but in the opposite division. And they were at full strength. And Michael Brown played again in the cup and got himself injured. He's played 2 games and less than 90 minutes of football, which is always good for, a save. Frankie Masonda got a goal. James Graham got another goal from the back. Reece Turner with a hat-trick, so he is firmly back in business. And Jason Oswell came back and also back in business. We've got our main 2 up top. We took a 3-0 win away at Darlington. James Ball got himself sent off, but Darren Stevenson with a hat-trick. Again, we held on, which is it's not bad. A bit of a bad tempo performance. I wasn't happy about the yellow cards we picked up, but that's life, I guess. Fourth qualifier round, we got Leamington becoming our nemesis a little bit. They beat us when we played them in the league the first time. 2-2 draw in the first game away. Oswald and Turner on the score sheet again. And then in the replay we beat them 2-0 after extra time. It was an absolute war. Jacob Evans got us on the score sheet early in extra time. Reece Turner killed the game off right at the end, which was good because at the time they were starting to attack us again. I had real fears of it going to penalties. We do have some decent penalty takers in the squad, but yeah, we're starting to worry a little bit. We got through, obviously. Then we played Leeds in the league, bit of a hangover I think from the midweek game. just in terms of fitness a little bit. James Graham got injured again, and he is currently out for a while. We'll go into that in a second. We got a 2-1 loss, but Reece Turner got on the score sheet, so he's still in good form. Bounced back against Blyth, 4-2 win. Stevenson, Turner, Oswell and Liam Lawrence with a goal. Liam Lawrence has been making some noises about wanting more first team football, so we're having to kind of give him more first team football by any means necessary. So we're going to see how that goes. And then Kidderminster at home, a 1-1 draw. We could only score by way of an own goal, which was disappointing. Darren Stevenson picked up an injury, which is a real concern because he's been on excellent form on the left wing. It's an interesting time. So let's just have a quick look, just so I can show you what we're dealing with. James Graham's injury, which, if I can remember where that lives on here, we'll do it through the team thing because that's easier. I remember how that works. I don't know how to get there apparently, but I remember how it works. So in terms of injuries, James Graham currently out for about 7 days to 3 weeks. It was a bad one. Our defence has looked a bit shaky since he went. I'm trying to figure out who I plug in there. It's been Jamie Stott recently, and he's been okay, but nothing spectacular. Darren Stevens is out for 6 days to 2 weeks, which again, big loss for us. Transfer news. We've done some business. We've done some okay business. Like I said, I extended Luke Burgess's loan because we kept having a few injuries to strikers. I wanted a bit more depth up front, so I brought in Rio Murray, reasonably cheap, good potential. I don't know if I'd expect to see him a lot. He's probably going to be someone I loan out in January, assuming we're injury free, because he needs to develop a little bit, but I brought him in. Michael Brown, like I said, he's played well despite the red card, but like I say, I don't think he's played 90 minutes of football for us yet, which is interesting. I'm sure there used to be some kind of stat here that said that you could, form maybe? There used to be a way of seeing how many games someone had played. Yeah, sent off in the 70th. So he's played just over one full game of football for us. Yeah, so we might see more of him, we might not, but he's a good player to have in the squad. We brought in Fraser Murdoch, who was just offered to me. He looked decent. He's played for Crewe. He's been at Crewe. Good finisher. Just having another poacher in the squad is always useful. Suleiman Naeem has come in as a left back that I want to develop. He's probably not going to play much this season, but on 25 quid a week you can't really complain too much. Looks like he's got some good potential for us and maybe can move up to being in the conversation at left back for next season. And then Shabazz Amofe, again, I brought him because it looked like he could develop a little bit. He's already starting to develop a little bit. Again, reasonably cheap, so I I gave him a contract at the end of the season just to see how he develops, see if he could break into the team. And Stephen O'Halloran has finally left us to go and join Dartford. Not a big loss because he wasn't playing really. Guessing those are games for him because I don't think I've played in this season. They are games for Dartford. So yeah, that's kind of the movements and shakings and whatnot. Let's see where we're at with games. Also, as you might have just seen, our wage budget is almost back to within the bounds of good times because the board gave me a bigger wage budget. But our first game, we're playing FC United. They are currently 18th in the league. We're sitting in second. We've got to do a lot of work to catch up with York, but this should be a good game. Good crowd, 4,000's not too bad. We'll see how this goes, is essentially what's going to happen. Let's look at the team sheet. A little bit makeshift. Minahan Stott obviously is covering for James Graham at the back. Masonda and Dewberry. In midfield, Birchall and Lawrence have both been asking for first team football. Liam Lawrence can play on the left wing a little bit, so he kind of became almost shoehorned in as the replacement for Stevenson, just A, to stop him moaning because I do want to keep him around, and B, because it was a toss up between him and Jacob Evans and Harvey Moss, And I originally looked at putting Harvey Moss in, and I don't know, Liam Lawrence brings something to the team. We're going to see how he does. We can always switch things up for the next game if things don't work. Birchall's playing on the right wing in place of Luke Burgess, just because again he's had a bit of a moan of wanting some first team football. I want to save Burgess for the FA Cup game, because we're playing Solihull and they're in the league above us. So Birchall's going to get a chance to impress today. Otherwise, Ball and Warburton in the middle as usual. Oswald and Turner up front as we expect at this point, I think. And Shubik on the bench just in case we need more attacking power. So let's get into this one. Let's see how things go, and yeah, we'll return. Well, I say we'll return. We will see if we can smash FC United. So these are the starting lineups. We've already gone through ours. Some players actually that I know fairly well in this FC United side, and actually I'm a little bit surprised they're 18th, just from a personal FM experience point of view, because Ben Hurst was part of my. I have a personal save with Oxford City that obviously I don't record for YouTube. We're currently in the Championship. Ben Hurst was pretty instrumental, got a lot of goals for me in the second season. Ben Holmes was the first signing I made, and he's still playing in the first team in the Championship, and just Mr. Consistency. Very good player, and obviously he's their best player at the moment, but I don't know how they're doing so badly. Danny Wisdom I've also had in that team, and again, very consistently good. Scott Kay I don't have in that team, but I remember him being at Man City on previous FMs, and he's had a decent career, I believe. In fact, I say I believe, I can check because I have it right in front of me. Yeah, he's done his time at Macclesfield. He's spent a good amount of time playing at this level-ish. And also, I love the fact that Adriano Basso is on the bench for them, because 42, this guy had a really good career. He was playing really well for Bristol City in the Championship sort of around this time. And even though he's Brazilian, there was talk of him possibly being on the fringes of an England call-up because he's got a British passport. Just random trivia that I know. But yeah, he's had a good career. Also, Owen Wheeler's back in goal. I forgot to mention that earlier on. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I think we can do something. Owen Wheeler, by the way, I put him back in goal because we have the cup tie coming up. He's starting to look unhappy about not getting first team football. Jack Stevens hasn't been looking world class, so I thought, give him this game. Again, FC aren't having a great season, so I want to try and build up his match fitness a little bit, just in case I decide to go with him for that game and not Jack Stevens. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, let's just kick it off. Let's kick it off. Close that because I'm going to do my thing where I make sure. I did have it set to full match, as I so often do. I play the games off screen full match quite a lot, just so I like to have a better overview of how individual players are doing. And I obviously have brought in Stott. I just wanted to kind of keep an eye on how he was playing. But Oswald's through early. I'm not sure what that was, but he finds Liam Lawrence, gets a cross back and saved. Yeah, I like to. I highly recommend this, by the way. If you're sort of still struggling to learn the game, or if it's just a new interest to you, or you've got a player you need to kind of keep an eye on, see how they fit in. Watch a match on full match, and you get a better sense of how they position themselves, how they play. Birch with the cross in, headed clear by Burt. Words failed. Birchall back to Ball. Ball finds Turner. Oh, Turner's missed that one. I don't know how he's missed that one, but he's missed it. And I'm hoping that's not an omen, because I really don't want this to be a thing. I don't want us to. We haven't, as far as I can remember, lost on camera yet. And I'd quite like the streak to continue. I'm not going to lie to you, I'd like that streak to continue. 3 shots on goal so far though, 2 on target. That seems familiar from the York game. So that could be a good omen. Chris Birchall picking up a booking. I'm going to tell him to ease off his tackles, because he does get booked almost every time he plays, and we'd like that to not happen again in this game. It's looking respectable so far. No goals, but looking respectable. What little we've seen of Liam Lawrence on the left hasn't looked awful as well, which is nice. Warburton finds Lawrence on the left now. See what he can do. Oh, he's been beaten to the ball by Kay, but it's gone as far as Dubry, and Dubry now finds Ball. Ball with the through ball to Oswell, and Oswell has scored, just tucked it in at the post. That's a quality finish. That is a quality finish. They're complaining of offside, but I think he clearly wasn't, if I'm honest. Let's have another look here. Ball picks it up. I don't think he was offside there. I think he just drifted back beyond the line when the ball was played. Left-footed shot right just inside the post. That's what we like to see. And we're in business, boys. This is usually where we start building some kind of demolition when we're this dominant. Now, Wheeler has got the ball and he's hoofing it up to Birchall. Danny Wisdom heads it clear, but Minahan finds Warburton. Warburton now with just making himself time. He didn't deserve the time he had there, but we've given it away to Gallagher. Hurst now. Hurst with the through ball to McCarthy, and this could be dangerous. Come on, close him down, Masandi. There we go. Close down. Can we build something here? We're building down the left. Turner's giving chase, which is good to see. Roscoe has just stood on the ball there, crossing to Oswell. Oswell's got his second. And this is where the demolition begins. This is what I'm starting to feel good about. I was a little bit concerned actually about having Lawrence and Birchall on the wings, because this formation, this tactic, really is kind of a little bit heavily reliant on quick wingers being the ones that supply all the crosses, but we seem to have enough creative players that actually we kind of counteract that, in that we can switch it up and just play through the middle and still seem to create chances, which is nice to see. Dubry's on Warburton. Dubry back inside to Ball. What's Ball got? Ball's got a through ball to Oswell. Oh, Oswell's not going to get on the end of that, but Dubry might do something. What's Dubry got? Through to McCarthy. Another graduate of the Dele Alli School of Goal Scoring. Birchall with the corner. Ball's picked it up. Oh. Back to Birchall, but that could have been horrific, that rebound. That cross was horrific too. Now Danny Wisdom's going to attack us down the left. What's Danny Wisdom got? Probably a cross coming in here. Oh. He should have scored that really, McCarthy, and I'm glad he didn't. That was as open a goal as he'll ever have. We're closing on half time, so we'll see what happens here. Ben Holmes picks up a yellow. He's pretty notorious for that in my Oxford game as well. He gets frustrated and just kicks someone. Dubry though finds Masonda. Masonda forward. Turner's going to run onto that, and maybe we can find Oswell. We've got a hat-trick of brewing. We have. Jason Oswell wide open. These two seem to be telepathic up front. They really do seem to be telepathic up front. They always know where each other are, you know, and they're both unselfish players. You know, you'll see here Reece Turner gets through, and frankly he could have taken this on himself, could have rounded the keeper, tucked it in his near post. He didn't. He just gave the ball to Oswell, let Oswell do his thing. That's the hat-trick before half-time again. And now Reece Turner's picked up a knock, and that's going to be interesting. Oh, it looks like a pulled groin. That's not ideal. Oh, choices to make. Lots of choices to make. Yeah. Do a team talky thing. I'm gonna take off Turner. I don't want to get any more hurt. I need him for the cup game. Ideally we'll send in Chubik because he can do his thing. We'll see how that goes, and we'll do the individuals because he might say something. Chubik. He didn't. Weird. Let's tell Chubik there's no pressure. because there isn't really. That should relax him. There we go. There's no pressure to score goals tonight. We're at 3-0. How much more damage can we really do? I guess we're going to find out. It'd be nice to see Chuba get a goal as well, just because if we do need him for the FA Cup game, you know, we'll have a guy who's got some confidence from scoring. But I don't want to put the pressure on him. I don't need any more goals really. Birchall with the corner in, headed clear by Sanga, ball to Warburton. Warburton over for Lawrence, and oh, that was close. That was very close. It's okay. We'll forgive Liam Lawrence that miss because we're so far ahead. It's not gonna. I don't think it will affect the outcome. They might surprise me and mount a huge comeback, but it doesn't seem like it's incredibly likely. James Ball's starting to tire. That's something to keep an eye on, and he's got a yellow card, so we might take him off just to preserve him. And Jamie Stott's starting to look tired too, which again is worth paying attention to. We're going to take off James Ball now. It's probably going to have to be Evans that comes off. Ooh, well, that's a proposition. Let's rethink that. Let's move Lawrence inside. Let's bang Evans on the left wing. That's a good start. That's a good start to some changes there, I think, because then we do get a little bit more pace on the left wing, and we also get to give James Ball a break. Liam Lawrence is quite effective down the middle, as is Chris Birchall actually. They're both very effective down the middle, but I don't want to move Birchall inside because there are people there, and he's feeling kicky today. I think I'm going to take Stott off for Cowan. Cowan again has been saying he'd like to play more, but he's not significantly decent at centre half. He's also not better than Minahan at right back, so yeah, that could be an either way kind of thing. But he's good enough to hold this lead for us, which I think is the key thing right now. I'd have liked to have been able to take off Oswald at this point because, you know, I want to keep him fit ideally, but we have to take these things as they come, and at the moment we're 3-0 up, we're cruising. Just going to pause it very quickly actually, because it does seem a little bit wise to go to a contain and take a breather. We're going to relax, essentially. I don't think they can score 4 in 4 minutes, but they might. You never know. We've seen stranger things happen. Dubry's got a free kick. This could be a goal. Oh, so close. So close. It's okay though. I think we've seen this one out. Birchall with a free kick now. Oh, like a Chris Waddle penalty. 3-0 though, boys. Not bad. Not a bad way to start the episode. You guys, I think, are quite lucky for me. This does mean the first game we play as soon as I stop recording, the one after the FA Cup game, whoever that is, we're just going to get smashed again. But that's life. We'll accept that. We've closed the gap to 4 points with York at the moment, but they do have a game in hand, so that might go back to. It'll probably go back to 7. They're playing quite well. Reece Turner out for 3 to 4 days. Interesting. give Jason Oswell some credit. I am going to try and give him a new contract, actually, I think, because I think his contract is up at the end of the season. And that's a concern, because we'd like to keep him around, because he scores a lot of goals. Right, I'm going to do an in-play edit. I'm going to stop here. We're going to come back in a second with the Solihull game, because I've got to do a whole bunch of boring stuff, like resting players and advancing days. So I'll see you in a second. Right guys, and we're back for the exciting FA Cup first round game against Solihull. I gave them a quick scout beforehand, in the time we were skipping days, and I don't think they're that much better than us. They seem to be fairly even. Their defence is a bit better than ours, but our attack is a bit better than theirs. So this could go either way. It could be a draw, and we could have to play a replay. If we do, that'll be another episode. Okay, I promise that'll be another episode, because I don't want you to have to watch 3 games in one. But yeah, into the team selection. It's pretty much the same team that started last game. In fact, it's exactly the same team that started last game. I felt like Wheeler did a good enough job in goal, kept a clean sheet. We can't really complain too much about that, so he's going to get the nod today. Reece Turner, still not completely fit, but it's one of those things where I know as soon as we finish the game he'll suddenly have recovered from injury, so I'll take the risk. I've got Chubik on the bench just in case I need to replace him, or certainly for when I need to replace him when he starts tiring out. That's fine. Obviously we go to a 7-man bench for the FA Cup rather than a 5-man bench, so Jack Stevens is coming as the goalkeeper. Harvey Moss is going to be there as an option on the left wing if I need to change things up, or if Lawrence isn't doing the job. So we should be okay here. The pre-match tactical advice said to switch to counter. I'm ignoring it. That's either going to be brilliant or ridiculously stupid, and we're about to find. This is the lineups. So it reckons that Adi Yusuf is their best player. However, it also reckons his best position is up front, which makes this lineup interesting. Also reckon that Thomas's best position was on the left wing. Again, interesting. He's been their best player this season, and he hasn't really been that good. And also, I don't think he can play on the left wing, which makes the scouting summary an interesting proposition. But hey ho, and a 6.8. I mean, it's not outstanding, is it? I forgot to look actually. I think Solihull might be doing meh in the league, 17th. So realistically, they're probably not actually much better than us. I mean, they're only 8 places above us in the league. It's perfectly doable to win this game. Jamie Osborne apparently is decent, but also their only right winger, so that could be a problem for them. And these 2 centre halves are rated really highly. However, Max O'Leary, the goalkeeper, is apparently awful. Wouldn't get in our side. So if we can get the ball through that defence, then Turner and Oswald are probably going to have a field day today, and that'd be nice to see. Time to pick up where they left. Why not? We just won 3-0. We definitely pick up where we left off. Let's go into it. Let's just kick it off. We'll see what happens. Feeling fairly good about this game. Not a great turnout. Apparently everyone in Solihull turned out, I guess, who wasn't working or otherwise, washing their hair. Should be a good game. Should be a really good game for us, which now I've said it means it'll be a ball draw. Wheeler with the ball up the field. Lawrence heads it on. Turner sort of takes a bit of a stub in the back, but there we've got Thomas breaking through on us, and thankfully Kwame Thomas, another graduate of the Dele Alli School of Goal Scoring, and Scott Dewberry with a throw into Lawrence. Lawrence to Turner. Turner to Dewberry. Dewberry with another cross. Oswell. Outstanding work. Jason Oswell on the score sheet already, leading from the front. And this, I'd love to do a smashing of a conference national side in the FA Cup. That would be brilliant. Great ball in by Lawrence. Turner kind of gets rid of the ball before he gets hurt. Dewberry whips it across, and Oswell has got his head to it, put it in at the far post. Quality work. If you don't understand what I mean by the Dele Alli School of Goal Scoring, you need to watch the World Cup series. Dele Alli's goal scoring prowess is legendary, for almost hitting a corner flag with a shot in an important game. Yeah. Anyway, we are dominating on the stats. 2 shots, 2 on target, and Dubry now with a ball forward to Lawrence. Had his pocket picked by Williams. Now they're on the attack. What's Thomas got? A ball backwards, which is always interesting, and back to Thomas. Probably should have been less effective as a 1-2 than it was, but now he's got the ball through to Reed, and Reed has absolutely fluffed his lines there. If he'd finished it, it would have been a brilliant goal, but he didn't finish it, so we don't care. I'd like us to get another goal before half time. I think I'd feel a bit more comfortable at 2-0. I certainly feel more able to take Turner off. Masonda finds Burgess now, so Burgess is back in the team. I think I mentioned that. Oswald gets taken down by Storer going in late. This could be a red card. Red card, come on. He said he went in late. It's usually a sign. There we go. Early shower, son. Bye-bye. They've taken Yusuf off as well. They've taken their best player off to shore up their midfield, but that's a good sign. That's a really good sign for us. Wasn't expecting a red card against us. That's always a winner. It can go either way. Like if you're losing, you find that someone gets sent off and you don't really get back into the game. But if you're winning, suddenly it works the same way for them. They don't get back into the game. They just kind of sit back and hope. And I say this from experience because we've had a couple sent off against us this season. That seems to be what happens. Stott with the ball forward finds Lawrence. Lawrence with an early cross to Oswald, who just heads it on to Burgess, who finds himself a goal. And that's what we like to see from the young lad. That's why I extended his loan, because he the more I watched him, I watched him before I made the decision. I watched him on a full match, highlights. And he's really an attacking threat. Not to the same extent maybe that Stevenson is, but he's a good attacking threat. He does like to get into the box. He does like to sort of have a crack. He scores occasionally. Certainly gets them on target a lot. I mean, that's the kind of player we want on that wing, actually. And going forward, we might even try and sign him, because I've got a feeling that Wigan will release him at the end of the season. And we're going in comfortable at 2-0 at half time against 10 men, which will be fine as long as James Ball cannot get sent off. That will be outstanding. Yeah, resisted the urge to play the old man because I didn't want him to get sent off again, or injured, or I don't know, break a nail. Guess we should just prove a point. Let's do a number on them just while we can, because people only look at the final score, they don't look at the details. And 5-0 against Solihull would look great even before people see a man sent off. I think one more goal and we'll take Reece Turner off. Give Simon Chubik a chance to impress. He's off on international duty, I think literally the day after this game, actually. So it'd be good to send him off to the Poland squad in some form of form, some kind of good spirits. Maybe he can finally get his first under-21 cap for them. That'd be nice for the lad. Nice for us too, because it puts their value up a little bit. Worth paying attention to. But we seem to have settled into a nice rhythm here now. It's become a fairly even game. They're starting to get shots on, which I'm taking as a sign they're attacking us. And sometimes, as advice for people who are watching this or trying to pick up tips, sometimes you can panic when you see those stats going up. You can see the attacks coming in. Bear in mind, when you attack, it really drains your players' energy, and there's only 10 of them, so all they're really doing is desperately trying to get themselves a goal, but also tiring themselves out. And you can't let that bother you or anything. Just in case it wasn't obvious, I've decided to make a sub. We're going to send Chubik on for Turner. Moss on for Lawrence, as you've just seen. I'll hold a sub back just in case, because I'm not sure what to do with it yet. Kind of want to take Oswell off, but also really don't. Maybe want to take Warburton or Ball off. Might be nice to take James Ball off before he picks up the yellow card he picks up every game. Send Chris Birchall. He can be the midfielder of choice for this one, because like I said, I do quite like him in the middle. I am a fan of him in the middle. Ooh. That's right, my brain faded out for a second there. I'm glad there wasn't a goal, because that would have been awful commentary. I caught up in the moment. Birchall with the corner. What we got? Good corner, but Thomas has headed it away. Warburton finds Burgess. Burgess just gets the ball stolen from them. Kwame Thomas just hoofs it upfield, which is probably a sign they've given up. They are just going to start missiling balls forward at this point. It's not going to be pretty football, but Dewberry's picked it up, and they're very tired, so they're going to make mistakes. We might get another opportunity. Birchall finds Burgess on the wing. Obviously not too mad that his place has been taken a little bit. Van breaks it up and gets a ball forward to Thomas, and this could be dangerous. We don't want to give them away back in. Oh, we've given them away back in. Great assist, and frankly a great headed goal, but I don't want this to become a draw. I really don't want this to become a draw. I don't want to play too many extra games, if I'm honest. They look like they might be mounting a comeback. We don't want that. Minahan with a throw. This could be okay. Birchall can just get the ball somewhere safe. Oswell. Oh, and they're on the counter again. Oh, this has got a goal written all over it. They're just playing long 1-2s. Reed's through again. Oh, how have they got back into this game? It's like we've just not figured life out, and that was right in the way of what I was trying to do. Concentrate. If we mess this up now, I'm going to be so angry. Looks like the next episode is going to be the replay, boys. Unless we can get a goal here. Come on, Chris Birchall with a corner into the box. Oh, that's the final whistle. A 2-2 draw. We should never have let them back into that game. I'm really disappointed that we've let them back into this game with 10 men. Really puts us under pressure in the next game. I don't really agree with saying unlucky. It should have been our day. We should have seen that one out. Maybe I should have shouted the concentrate earlier. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown in a guy like Harvey Moss so soon. I don't know. Looks like we're going to have to play a midweek replay against Solihull. Probably without a Shubik, because that tends to be the way these things work. Let's do it math style. 50. Oh, he's just back from international duty in time. Okay. So our next episode then, I guess, is going to be the replay against Solihull. Well, hopefully we'll get ourselves in the hat for the second round. Let's do the quick progressy thing. Where we go. I'll show the draw. We'll see who we can potentially play in round 2, because it might not even be worth winning the replay. And yeah, then we'll end the episode and we'll do the replay next time. So let's just have a quick look as I magically cut and skip time. Okay guys, and we're back with the FA Cup draw. So some big names in this one. Blackburn and Charlton are in here, so we'll see how this goes. I'll even do it automatic draw so that we get the full tension experience. So we've got Blackburn in there. Bradford could be a good crowd if we can get them. Notts County would be decent, but they've got to overcome Chorley, which you'd hope they would do. Oh, that went too fast, didn't it? I couldn't even follow that. Franchise could be okay as a crowd go. Oh, potential Oxford United Oxford City clash would be in there. Just interesting for me, no one else. Portsmouth would be a nice crowd. Oh, that's pretty much it. Wigan would be a nice crowd, but we wouldn't have Luke Burgess, so maybe we'd rather not get them. Let's see how it goes. Shrewsbury Southport, pretty poor match, but a good chance for a non-league club. Cambridge Blackburn, that'd be a decent game. Woking, they've got Wigan, so that's taking them out of the equation for us. Swindon would be good, but nope. But let me stop the automatic. Let's do this so I can actually read the names as we go. So an Oxford Aldershot clash. That's happened fairly recently in the conference. Chorley or Notts County away. We didn't want it. We didn't want it at all. That's fine. And Bromley are going to go there. Milton Keynes. I'd take Milton Keynes. Guiseley. They've got an easy draw. Eastleigh versus Barrow or Rochdale. There's a glamour tie if ever I saw one. Lincoln City. Lincoln against Charlton. The way to look at this is it does take some big boys out of the equation. Yeovil have got Bury. Would have been nice to have the local derby, but that's fine. Maidenhead or Oldham. Okay, some big teams going out of the equation. That's encouraging. Leyton Orient, they could be a factor. Orient, let's hope that's not Orient Luton for the police's sake. Carlisle, Gillingham, Accrington, Blackpool, another localish derby. Ooh, the big one. Solihull or Stockport. This could be entirely moot. Let's see who we'd like from this. From what's available, you'd like it to be Portsmouth for the crowd and Maidstone for the win. Let's see which way that goes. It's going to go somewhere awful like Peterborough. I can feel it. Oh, that's not ideal, because it's going to be Plymouth, and they're a good side. We've seen all we need to see from that. Let's see what anything interesting come out the hat afterwards. Not really. Nothing of great note. I mean, that'd be a good tie. Whoever gets Walsall, that'd be a good game. But you know, it's the best you can do with round 2. Yeah. So confirmation will be at home if we beat Solihull to either Wycombe or Plymouth. No pressure. I'm going to see you boys in the next episode, which I guess I'm recording this for Monday, so it'll be Friday at 6 o'clock. In case you hadn't noticed, there is a schedule. Mondays and Fridays at 6 is currently what we're doing, because it gives me a few days between episodes if I've forgotten to record one, to get one recorded. So that's going in this episode. I'm going to apologise now for the fact that it's going to be fairly long. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you very soon. See you later.